accusing Hailey of caring more about how their relationship looks to the general public more than how it feels privately between the two.
To the singer's black and white post, in which he referred to himself as a dad that's not to be with, by commenting, "Father's Day sucks." The clapback came.
What if the love story you've been watching was never really about love? What if it was strategy? A brand deal dressed as a marriage. Two people once real, now just pixels on a filtered feed. This is not just a breakup. This is a slow collapse, played out in silence, strategy, and sadness. Today we go beyond the headlines, beyond the reposts, beyond the drama. Because this isn't about Justin and Hailey. This is about what happens when the image of love becomes more important than the experience of love. Buckle up, this story isn't loud. It's hauntingly quiet. They looked like a dream. The perfect couple. The red carpet royalty. You didn't just see their photos. You felt like you were watching a fairy tale happen in real time. From surprise weddings to vacation selfies, everything screamed love. But sometimes perfection is performance. Behind those lens flares and flawless skin was a different kind of pressure. The pressure to stay in love publicly, even if privately things were falling apart. The world saw couple goals. But what they didn't see was exhaustion. When love becomes something you have to prove to the world, not something you feel in your own home, the cracks start forming. Not overnight, not dramatically, but slowly, silently. Justin started pulling back. Less eye contact, less warmth. Hailey showed up alone to events. Silent walks. No smiles. And fans started asking, where's the spark? But maybe the better question was there still a connection or just a contract? What they built wasn't just a marriage. It was a brand. And brands don't fall apart overnight. They unravel piece by piece. And that's exactly what we began to see. You know what's crazy? The end of a relationship doesn't always begin with screaming fights or public scandals. Sometimes it starts with the smallest things, things the world barely notices. Like not sitting close anymore. Like forgetting to look at each other during conversations. Like walking in front of your partner instead of beside them. That's exactly what started happening with Justin and Hailey. He wasn't present, not emotionally, not mentally. Fans saw him at events, but he looked disconnected. Tired. Somewhere else in his head. He posted black screens, sad songs, cryptic lyrics with no explanation. And those teary-eyed selfies? That wasn't PR. That was a man unraveling, in front of millions. And Hailey? She wasn't yelling. She was managing. Showing up with makeup done, outfit ready, holding the brand together. But she stopped smiling with her eyes. Stopped liking his posts. Stopped reacting. That's the kind of silence that speaks volumes. It was like watching two people living in the same storyline but reading different scripts. One spiraling quietly. The other holding it together with duct tape and damage control. Hailey Baldwin didn't just marry Justin Bieber. She married his history, his fame, his fandom, and all the chaos that came with it. And for a while, she handled it like a pro. The business trips, the press, the photographers yelling her name. She showed up every time. Clean, polished, rehearsed. But that kind of pressure? It isn't sustainable. Behind the filtered Instagram stories and brand campaigns was a young woman holding her marriage together with spreadsheets and PR meetings. She booked the vacations, handled the invites, and smiled through the noise. But when you become the manager of your own relationship, something's broken. Justin, on the other hand, wasn't showing up emotionally. He was distant, lost in a fog that even Hailey couldn't pull him out of. His posts became unpredictable. One day, emotional apologies, the next, total silence. People thought he was going through a phase. But phases end. This didn't. And that's when things started getting colder. Hailey wasn't just disappointed. She was burnout, trying to keep their love alive publicly while privately feeling like she was the only one putting in the effort. And when one person starts managing both the relationship and the reputation, it becomes survival, not love. You can't keep smiling for the cameras when your heart is quietly breaking. And that's what Hailey was doing for far too long. Distance isn't always physical. Sometimes it's in the pauses between words. The way a hand doesn't reach back. The way someone laughs, but not with you anymore. That's what was happening with Justin and Hailey. They were still in the same rooms, still at the same events, but the connection? It felt like it had vanished. Justin wasn't ignoring her. He just wasn't fully with her anymore. Emotionally, mentally, he was somewhere else. And maybe the saddest part? She knew it, but kept showing up anyway. Fans noticed it too. The awkward moments. The closed car door. The Met Gala appearance where Hailey stood alone. No Justin, no smiles. Just silence. That silence? It was louder than any tabloid headline. Then came the social media shift. Hailey stopped liking his posts. No more cute comments. No more matching energy. Just digital space between two people who once posted love like clockwork. Justin, meanwhile, was posting black screens, cryptic captions, emotional outbursts, then vanishing. The consistency was gone, and so was the warmth. And when consistency disappears in a relationship, so does the feeling of safety. The truth is, they weren't just drifting apart, they were learning how to function separately while still pretending to be a couple. And that's the kind of heartbreak no filter can fix. You can love someone deeply and still feel haunted. Not by your partner, but by their past. For Hailey, that ghost had a name, and the world never let her forget it. Selena Gomez wasn't just Justin's ex. She was the memory people refused to let die. Every Instagram post, every red carpet moment, every quiet celebration, the comments were flooded with comparisons. She's not Selena. We miss Selena. It wasn't just fans being fans. It was a constant reminder that no matter how hard she tried, Hailey was living in someone else's love story. Imagine building a new life with someone, and every time you try to move forward, the internet pulls you back. Hailey started noticing everything. The old songs, the fan edits, the subtle shade. And according to insiders, she didn't just brush it off. She tracked it. She searched for mentions. She had Google's alerts set up. It stopped being about being a wife and started becoming about being compared. And when Selena dropped that track, "Don't take it personally," everything snapped. The lyrics? "He sleeps in my bed. I met his parents. It's official. He doesn't want you." For Hailey, that wasn't just a song. It was a direct hit. She reportedly woke Justin up to ask if it was about her. And his answer? "She's not thinking about us anymore." Why are you? That line broke something. Not just in their marriage, but in Hailey's spirit. Because when you're constantly compared to someone the world romanticized, even your truth starts to feel like a lie. In the end, this wasn't about Hailey versus Selena. It never really was. It was about a relationship trying to survive under a spotlight, where every memory is public, every mistake is permanent, and every comparison feels like a cut. Justin and Hailey didn't just fall out of love, they fell apart under pressure. And Selena? She's just a reminder of how powerful love can be, and how dangerous it is to keep chasing what was. Sometimes it's not about who is better, but about who is broken. This story isn't about sides. It's about pain. Real, raw, and unfiltered. And maybe that's the part we forget when we turn love into content. Behind every breakup is a heart that once believed it would never end. And that's what makes it all so human.